Anyway.
It was the 12th of April, 1900, and the crowds were gathered at Newgate Prison for a rather gruesome event. I, Dr. John H. Watson, have chronicled all the cases of my illustrious friend, Sherlock Holmes. This was something special. The final demise of his arch rival, James Moriarty.
See where the path of sin lies, the scaffold. When the hangman pulls his lever, the gates to hell will open, and 3 lost souls will plummet down to the fiery bosom of the devil.
Though mothers weep for children dear.
Find the light of your own salvation.
I sell my salvation, sister, in this.
The dangling ropes. Nothing on earth his life can save. Professors do to noose and brave.
Like I always say, Professor, give the people what they want, they'll turn out for it.
Spare me your smug philosophy, Lestrade.
Come, Professor. In a minute, you'll be bobbing from the gibbet.
Sinners. Oh, let them hold them on the scaffold, sir, so that God, whom they have shunned in life, will be close to them in death.
No, why not?
God forgive you, and may your death be a lesson to other poor souls. May it bring comfort.
Let's not keep the people waiting.
William Perry, in a few moments you will stand before God. Do you have anything to say? Arthur Wiggs, in a few moments you will stand before God. Do you have anything to confess?
Oh, please. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
God have mercy on us.
No, no.
I am the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And he that liveth and believeth in me shall never die.
Oh, no.
James Moriarty, in a few moments you will stand before God. Have you any last words?
Tell Sherlock Holmes I'll meet him in hell.
It's a diversion! Where is he? Where is he?
Hey! Ah! He slashed me.
I have been working on this case for 3 months. The most dangerous and capable villain in the whole of Europe. Finally captured at last. And all you have to do is to walk him to the scaffold.
Here, Holmes. In that chaos, anyone could have passed Moriarty a knife. I checked this book myself.
With your usual efficiency, I see.
And when he slashed at me with his blade, I thought I was done for.
Me too. Bombs was going off all over the place.
Everyone was panicking, including the police.
Nonsense.
They was more scared than we were.
Moriarty may have escaped, Holmes, but you have at least crippled his organization.
It seemed to be working very smoothly this morning, Watson. Now I see that even in prison he has been plotting and scheming his evil ways.
You caught him once. You will do again, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins is right. He cannot match your intellect, old fellow.
He is a genius, Watson. He is a genius. He is the Napoleon of crime.
And you're his Waterloo, sir.
There you go, young trooper. Ready for action again.
Wiggins here. There's something extra for you and the lads.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
You've done very well. All right, lads, run along. Mrs. Hudson, see them out, will you?
What will you now, boys? Out of here.
It's only a matter of time before we recapture him. I have 300 men deployed. Every port, every railway station, every public building is being watched.
And how did he send this?
Telegram.
Arrived just before you did.
Name. Long message.
Read it, man. Simply read it.
Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 1. My spirit walketh abroad, proclaiming liberty unto the captives and the opening of prison to them that are bound. Mine enemies quail before me, and the day of my vengeance
is at hand. Yes.
Is at hand.
A cryptic boast.
Best get back to the yard.
I'll see you out.
I didn't think he'd take it well.
No.
I thought you weaned him of the accursed habit.
Painstakingly. It is not yet a habit again, thank God. But the dragon within him is not yet dead. Merely sleeping. I was glad for Sherlock's sake that soon after Lestrade's departure, we had another caller. Holmes? Holmes, old chap.
What is it, Watson?
There's a cab waiting outside from your brother Mycroft. He wants to see you.
Well, Richard Farrington, how long have you been with my brother?
Oh, almost 3 years now. I've read all about your exploits, sir. In the Strand magazine.
Yes, quite.
Every one.
Watson here is responsible for all that.
Oh. Oh, here we are.
Thank you, Farrington.
Mr. Holmes?
Good afternoon, Burton. My brother Mycroft is expecting me.
Mr. Holmes, follow me, sir.
It is hard to believe, is it not, Watson, that some of the brightest minds in the country belong to this club.
What's that, Holmes? Damn silly idea. Clever the members can't speak to each other.
It was for that very reason that Mycroft founded it.
Why do you think this is apropos, Holmes?
The slightest idea. Doubtless we're about to find out.
I know Mycroft holds some minor office in the government.
My dear Watson, there are times when Mycroft is the government.
What? What do you mean Mycroft is the government?
This way, Mr. Holmes. Ah, Sherlock, Dr. Watson. Good of you to come at such short notice.
Voltaire? Collected works, eh? My goodness, Mycroft, it's going to take you a long time to get through these.
You know me, Sherlock. Always been an avid reader. Come here. Come and see. To anyone who wishes to study mankind, this is the spot.
Uh-huh.
Like this fellow on the corner here.
Oh, yes. Obviously an old soldier.
Recently discharged from India.
Non-commissioned officer.
Widower.
With a child.
Children, my dear fellow, children.
Children.
This is a little too much.
No, not at all. A man with such assurance and bearing is quite obviously a soldier. His sun-baked skin would suggest that he has recently returned from India.
That he has not long left the service is shown by his still wearing his ammunition boots.
Royal Artillery?
He is in mourning, deep mourning, which shows that he has lost someone quite recently very dear to him. The fact that he does his own shopping, I would suggest, means that it's his wife.
He's bought things for the children. The rattle shows that one of them is still very young. And the picture box shows that there's also an older child.
Incredible.
For all the time he's seen me do it, it still fascinates him.
Ah, this is Colonel Booth, our chief of security. He made a suggestion to me the other day that the two of you should work together.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Now, Europe, gentlemen, is in a state of flux. We are striving for a unified framework of lasting peace and prosperity, but the great powers have created such a tangled web of alliances that any one of 6 minor states could plunge us into war.
God forbid. It would be a war too horrific to contemplate.
That's why Booth wants you to work with us.
I fail to see the connection.
There has been a leakage of confidential information, which, I am embarrassed to say, appears to emanate from my building.
We've had numerous instances of classified documents going astray.
3 men have died. Our whole intelligence network is in jeopardy. And until our communication channels are made secure, it is certain more good men will be lost.
No. Sorry, Mycroft. This is not for me. I'm sure that Colonel Booth will be successful eventually.
Holmes, perhaps I didn't make myself clear. This is a matter of national and European security.
Perhaps I didn't make myself quite clear. I am merely a civilian detective.
Even so, I think you should consider it.
No.
Well,
I'm glad to see that once in a while I can still surprise you.
This is a very important matter, especially at the present time. Some particularly sensitive material has arrived this very day.
There is a certain gentleman I have to find.
This is far more important than your pathetic obsession with Professor Moriarty.
I don't think the people of London would necessarily agree with you.
Don't think your fame with the masses alters anything. You always were the black sheep of the family.
Watson.
Angela?
In here, darling.
Hello.
You're late.
I'm sorry. Assistants in Whitehall can't just come and go as they please.
I hate it when you're late. It makes me think you might not be coming at all.
We had a visitor today. I had to collect him, of course. Great Sherlock Holmes, no less.
Oh?
Yes. Didn't seem very special to me. Thank you.
Oh, sit down. What did he want?
The devil knows. They're brothers, of course, he and Mycroft.
Yes.
Oh, God, I've had a terrible morning.
Oh, poor thing. But don't you find it soothing here? So quiet and intimate. Look at the flames flickering there. That solitary glow and the darkness all around. See how the flame dances, dances, up and down, up and down. So warm, comforting, so peaceful. Up and down against the dark. Richard, open your eyes. At 8 o'clock tonight, there's something I want you to do.
Colonel Booth, sir. Give a 7:30 meeting in his office.
I was just passing, and I thought I'd walk you down there, Mr. Holmes.
Meeting,
We have to review the Downing Street security roster.
Oh, yes.
I confirmed your usual dinner reservation, sir. 8:15.
Good. Won't you join me?
Delighted, sir.
Time you were going home, young man.
Yes, sir. Just finishing off here.
He never stops working. I don't know his ambition or patriotism, but I'm sure he'll be Prime Minister before he's 40. There's rain about. I've got an umbrella in my office.
I'll come with you.
Now then, my little beauty. I hope you like this place. Really have a first-rate chef.
Very good.
Always a very good roast. Come on. That's all.
What?
Seems to have stuck.
Let me try, sir. Would you mind?
Not at all.
It's definitely jam, sir.
Yes. Gotcha. That's it. Who's that?
I'll take it, sir.
Harrington. What sort of people would do this, Colonel?
Perhaps we should talk to your brother again, Mr. Holmes.
I think it was the inexplicable behavior of young Farrington that persuaded Holmes to take the case.
Traitor.
Are you sure he's our man, Colonel? It seems so strange. Farrington's been with me for 3 years.
He's our man, all right.
Don't worry, Mr. Holmes. The Colonel and me will get the truth out of him down at the yard.
Come along, lad.
But perhaps he had suspected all along that his old adversary was masterminding the affair.
You failed. There was nothing I could do, Professor. They shot him down not 5 yards from the coach. Must have been half a dozen of them.
Not bloody likely.
Lying dog. Stubb, you're alive.
No thanks to you, you yellow scum. You took off at the first gunshot. Let me kill him.
I thought he was dead, I swear.
I was right there. I called for you to wait.
Liar!
There seems to be a difference of opinion. Let's discuss this, rationally, like gentlemen. Mr. Finch, get us all a cigar from the box on my desk. Have no patience with failures or cowards, and I will not tolerate disloyalty.
Rot in hell, you filth.
And you, Mr. Stubb, remember that only I punish or reward.
Well,
How many more times? I don't know!
You knew when the messages were delivered. You knew the habits of your superior when he would leave the office. This is treason, boy.
to say nothing of murder, Constable Evans was a good man.
Murder. I don't know anything about that.
Don't give me that, lad.
Who are you working for?
Mycroft Holmes.
Oh, very funny. You work for a foreign government. We know that already, my lad. Now, which one?
No.
The code.
Farrington locks up every night. But when I returned with Colonel Booth, my key wouldn't open the door.
Here's the reason why. Sliver of wood, piece of pencil, jammed into the keyhole.
Obviously, the thief did not want to be disturbed.
Precisely, Watson. What did he take? Money?
Oh, no. Something far more valuable. An official document taken from this safe, for which I alone know the combination. Now, the future gentlemen, it is no hollow boast to say that within these papers lies the destiny of the British Empire.
Curious. Why steal only one of the papers, I wonder?
I don't know. It was a dispatch from Europe. It only arrived last night. I've not decoded it yet.
Ah, coded messages.
Yes, they're all kept in this safe, and once deciphered, they're burnt.
Who actually sees these messages before they're destroyed?
Well, depending on priority, the Prime Minister, Minister of Defense.
Oh. Is that all?
Yes. Apart from myself, of course.
Good heavens, Holmes, now I see what you mean about Mycroft being the government.
So, nothing else was touched in this room, and I warrant nothing else was taken from this room. The raid itself was carried out with such expertise, one can only describe it as admirable. And you, my dear Mycroft, are such a creature of habit that was used against you. After all, it was sheer chance that you came back here for your umbrella. Had that not have occurred, the thief would have remained undisturbed. I take it that you and you alone have the key to this code?
And the agent who sent it, of course.
Of course.
Well, the thief must be apprehended. The message must be retrieved.
Yes, before he breaks the code.
You couldn't possibly do that.
Why not?
I devised it myself.
All codes can be broken, Mycroft. Even yours.
There was nothing pleased Holmes more than a chance to admonish his elder brother. Meanwhile, at Scotland Yard, Lestrade and Booth had news for us.
Thank you, Constable.
Holmes. He's a tough nut, but he's cracking. He's just admitted he's a Bolshevik.
Oh. Probably come to kill the Queen.
The swine.
No, Watson. No, I did not mean that. I merely said it to illustrate that if you, yourself, had to spend 5 hours with Lestrade and Colonel Booth, you would probably say anything they wanted.
I resent that, Holmes.
Colonel Booth, I would like to talk to him alone.
You can talk, but I'll be here.
Who is she? The woman you are protecting. Who is she?
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, I don't know what you're talking about.
The police did not find this in your desk, but I did. She will not do you any good, you know that.
She?
Do you think she will be there when you hang from the gallows as a murderer?
I'm not a murderer.
If she does not speak up for you now, you are a dead man. Not only dead, but disgraced. Hanged as a traitor to your country.
I would give my life for my country.
Farrington, you will not give your life for anything. They will take it.
Her name is Angela.
Baroness DeVere. She's married, you see, to a high-ranking diplomat. She rented a house just off the Strand.
Holmes, how on earth did you know he was having an
I
affair
didn't.
with a baron?
All I knew was that he was having an affair with someone. In any case, Farringdon was not having an affair with a baroness.
He wasn't?
No, he was having an affair with a lady purporting to be a baroness.
How can you say that?
Because I have a thorough knowledge of titles, both English and European, and believe me, DeVere is not among them.
Looks as though the lady doesn't exist at all, then. As you have seen, Holmes. Like the rest of the house, decidedly uninhabited.
Yes, only recently, though.
What do you mean?
Dust, Lestrade.
I don't see any.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm not following you.
An uninhabited house, Lestrade, would be layered in dust, would it not? This house, no dust. You know, I think that Farringdon may well be telling the truth.
Either he was besotted by this woman's charms and therefore unable to obey his normal instincts, or she was exerting some other influence over him.
I wonder. Hypnosis. The state that Mycroft found him in after the break-in would certainly suggest that.
You're a military man, my dear fellow. What do you make of Booth?
Well, I find it hard to believe that Mycroft's choice of colleague could be suspect in regard to Booth, if that's what you mean. He fought, nearly died for his country. Sepoy mutiny in '57. They gave him the Victoria Cross.
Brave man. Brave man.
I have tried every mathematical formula that I know! What news from Europe?
A visitor from Berlin.
Oberstein.
Yes. He'll be here in a few days.
Then we must be sure that we have something to show him. Holmes must be watched even more carefully.
It might be simpler to put a bullet through him.
You just don't shoot a man like Sherlock Holmes, oh no. His death must be savored. First, he must know defeat at my hands. And then, destruction.
Holmes has made Farrington talk.
Well, perhaps your hypnotic power over men is not as potent as you had imagined. There are other ways of silencing him. If you, don't object. Hmm?
Farrington means nothing to me. I could arrange something.
Oh, I hate being cooped up in here. When we settle things with Oberstein, then I shall take you away to Paris, to Rome, to Monte Carlo.
We still haven't cracked Mycroft's code.
But I have another solution. I don't know why I didn't think of it before.
Come.
All our attempts to trace Farrington's mysterious Angela DeVere had failed. The trail seemed cold. Mycroft returned to his usual routine. It was the calm before the storm.
I see we have yet another acquisition, Burton. This place is beginning to look like the British Museum.
General Summerlee's bestowed on us another of his archaeological treasures, sir.
Yeah, well, it's an excellent example of its period.
I wouldn't know, sir. Can I get you anything else?
One more glass of port to go down well. Let's see.
said he'd meet me here. Here is where he'll be.
I've already told you, Mr. Holmes, your brother is not here.
He is not here. He is not at his lodging. He is not at Whitehall.
It doesn't mean anything's happened to him.
On the contrary, my brother Mycroft has a life that runs on rails. The rails run from his lodging to Whitehall to here and back again. It never varies. Were it to vary, one might say it was tantamount to the Earth veering out of orbit. His port left untouched from last night. Burton, you did not see my brother leave here last night.
The last time I saw him, sir, was when he asked for a second glass of port. I left him here admiring Cleopatra.
Yes. She wasn't here when I was here last.
You've a keen eye, sir. It came just yesterday.
Did you open it, Burton?
Open it, sir?
It has been opened. Observe the carpet. The nap has been lifted. It was raised by the lid swinging across it, which means, of course, that there are hinges. Excuse me. Yes, indeed. How very curious.
But anyone might have opened it. Even Mycroft.
I think not, Colonel Booth. I think not. This was opened from the inside.
A latch on the inside.
Indeed.
Air holes for ventilation.
No. Spy holes for viewing.
What does it all signify?
Surely we don't have to explain it, Lestrade.
Wait a minute. You're suggesting someone popped out of this here thing, overcame your brother and kidnapped him?
Yes. With accomplices, of course.
Accomplices?
Well, it took at least 2 men to carry this.
No, sir. 3 men delivered it.
Well.
What is it, Holmes?
It's a blue clay. London clay. Usually found on the riverbed.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I noticed the same substance earlier, before you arrived. Here, on the carpet. And there's more of the same over here at the window, you see.
Footprint. Here left by this window. Carrying Mycroft. Rope ladder. Yes, yes, you see? There, rope burns. So. Long strides. Spy holes set very high. Tall man. 4 inches over 6 feet at least. An Indian.
Indian?
Note the pointed shoe. And in the casket, a strong smell of sandalwood. An Indian of great strength and height. Cast your mind back, Watson.
Good God, Holmes. Thuggy.
Indeed.
What's that?
The thugs. Cult of murderers from India. Followers of Kali, goddess of death. Only one person who would use such people today. My brother has been taken by Moriarty.
Oh, good morning, Ali Baba. What is it? Good evening.
Ah, you were waiting. Is there anything that I can get you?
A comfortable chair. Well, I see it was you who stole the Leonardo from the Louvre. Sherlock always suspected it. He'll be glad to know he was right.
Well, of course, he may never find out. Speaking of finding out, congratulations on your code.
Giving you trouble?
Completely befuddled.
Befuddled? The man who wrote The Dynamics of an Asteroid. A book that ascends the rarefied heights of pure mathematics. Well, I'm honored.
So befuddled, I even refer to your younger brother's trifling monograph on codes. To no avail.
Big brothers had more experience.
Yes, well, now you must share it. Hmm?
I'm afraid you purloined the message before I had a chance to decipher it.
So I'll decipher it. Once you give me the key to your code.
Torture?
I abhor needless violence.
You don't expect me to volunteer the information, surely? Well, aren't you going to introduce us?
All you need to know is that she has many talents.
Has he had any visitors?
No. Only myself and Booth.
At what time was he found?
The night shift discovered him just after 8 o'clock.
What time?
8 o'clock.
The same hour that Mycroft's office was broken into.
Do you think there's a connection?
There must be.
Diabolical. So this Baroness woman made him kill himself with his own bed.
That is what they want us to think, Watson. However, it is awfully difficult, is it not? Even under the influence of hypnotism, for a man to kill himself when he's already dead. And then old Summerlee, filling the place with junk from his expeditions, gave Moriarty the perfect rules to kidnap Mycroft.
But for what purpose?
But to get the code, of course.
Well, that's certainly one interpretation.
But Mycroft would never decipher the message. He would never betray his country.
Not knowingly, my dear Watson. He would rather die first.
There is another possibility.
What's that?
Mycroft Holmes is a traitor. And his abduction was just a clever trick to throw us off the trail. Furthermore, supporting his kidnap story is simply your way of defending his seditious acts.
Well, that's outrageous. Are you accusing both Sherlock and Mycroft of being traitors?
Forgive me, but it is possible.
You are right to cover every aspect of the case, but I do assure you, you are wrong.
That it is imperative we trace Moriarty. I shall talk with Lestrade.
Lestrade? Capturing Moriarty?
What progress have you made?
Might I remind you, Colonel, that we have only arrived where we are now because of Sherlock's investigations. You yourself suggested that he take this case.
Thank you, Watson. But I am quite sure Colonel Booth was speaking hypothetically when he said that Mycroft and myself might be traitors.
Well, I certainly hope so. Either way, I think an apology is in order.
I remind you, Holmes, this is not only a question of your brother's well-being. This is a matter of national security. In the final balance, even the most patriotic man may weigh his own life before that of his country.
A strange viewpoint from a defender of the Empire, is it not?
Viewpoints change with experience. The coded letter is the important thing, Holmes. Find that, and you'll find Moriarty. And save your brother.
The key to the code. What is it?
Sherlock. Sherlock's safe.
The key to the code is in your brother's safe.
Yeah. Brown envelope.
Here's a telegram, sir, from Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
It's just arrived, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
Read it to me, will you, Watson?
It's from Lestrade. He wants us to meet him at the yard. He's found the Indian.
Get your coat, Watson.
Right.
Where to, gentlemen?
Scotland Yard.
No. Just take us round the square.
Round the square, sir.
Cabby, round the square and back here.
Yes, sir.
Lestrade would never send a telegram. If a hand-delivered message would do. Anyway, if he really had caught the Indian, he'd come and tell me in person in order to run salt into the wound. No. He knew that I would recognize Lestrade's handwriting. That's why he sent a telegram. He. Keep that very close to you.
Well, Jeremy Stubb, I thought I recognized your work on Mycroft's safe. You remember, don't you, Watson? Jeremy Stubb? Until I put paid to his career, the finest safe cracker in all of London.
In all England, Mr. Holmes.
All right, Watson. I heard you'd escaped from Dartmoor.
The climate didn't suit me.
Pity. You'll soon be back there. Where is Moriarty?
Never heard of him.
I suppose you organized this yourself, did you?
Perhaps I did.
My dear Stubb, you couldn't organize a game of croquet.
Touché, Mr. Holmes.
What I mean is, Mr. Holmes is always coming up with silly little clues that don't mean nothing. That's how he nicked me the last time. I was innocent then.
Well, born you to stop, you worthless wretch! Where is my brother?
Let go of me! Get him off me! You keep him off me. I know my rights. He can't treat me like that! I don't have to say nothing.
If my brother is harmed in any way whatsoever, I will kill you with my bare hands, as God is my judge.
Stubb knows how I deal with traitors. He won't talk. But someone else will. You don't make a fool out of me.
It seems I already have.
You have a very strong will, Mycroft.
It runs in the family.
Quick, sir. My mistress has got a raging fever. The master sent me in a carriage. It's waiting outside. Please hurry, sir. She's awful bad.
Yes, yes, my lad. Come on. It's a medical emergency, Holmes. I'll be back later.
Do come in, Professor. The stable lad who has just left with Watson is the first I've ever seen with pierced ears. A transparent deception for you, Moriarty.
It served its purpose. To get you alone. Ah, this looks like a winning position.
You place your bishop there in 3 moves, I'll take your black king.
Since you are so obviously armed, you don't need 3 moves.
Then checkmate.
Oh, well played. But you've overlooked my counter, dear friend. If you want to take the black king, first you must sacrifice a knight and a pawn. Are you prepared for that? Besides, a bullet, even from your own gun, is not the kind of justice that you seek for me.
Oh, you will face justice. Believe me.
We shall see. I have a proposition for you, Holmes.
I listen.
In the past, I found you diverting. Your opposition providing exciting competition.
I, too, have had similar thoughts about you, Moriarty.
We're both extraordinary men.
Yes.
We appreciate the aesthetics of the game. But now, things are different.
You changed the rules?
Oh, no, Mr. Holmes. I've thrown away the book.
You and I both know that you are not going to pull that trigger. If you were, you would have done it a long, long time ago.
Don't push me. Everything changed when that noose went round my neck. Sometimes the rage I feel towards you overwhelms me. But you're right. Your death in itself is no longer sufficient. But it will come. I assure you. If you want to see Mycroft again, you will give me the key to his code.
And if I did, you would release him unharmed?
Correct.
How can I trust you?
Do you have a choice? I don't wish to gloat, but you have to admit, my strategy is running like clockwork.
Why are you so interested in this code?
It came to my attention some time ago. But frankly, it was the, family connection that induced my participation. It was an added bonus that certain of my European associates expressed a wish to purchase it.
Is there anything you wouldn't sell, Moriarty?
You and I have a lot in common. Including certain weaknesses. But Mycroft, he's different from you. He's not used to such pleasures.
If he should come to any harm...
That depends upon you. The key, Mr. Holmes.
Go to hell, Professor Moriarty.
I shall see you in your grave first.
And Watson, what of him?
I play for kings. I only take pawns if they get in my way.
Then it would seem to be stalemate, wouldn't you say?
For the moment, Mr. Holmes. Only for the moment.
Still half asleep.
I can't see.
Come on, we'll guide you.
Where am I? What is this place?
No need for you to know.
Watson, my dear fellow, are you all right?
Took me by surprise. As soon as I entered the carriage, I was cracked over the head. When I came to, I was blindfolded and chained to a post in some kind of underground cabin. I knew it was underground because the air was so dank.
Do you remember anything else?
I don't know. The next thing I recall, I was sitting on the embankment. I hailed a cab, and here I am. But why was I taken?
I had a visitor. Moriarty.
The nerve of the devil.
Yes, indeed.
What are you doing?
He has made a mistake, Watson. He has made a mistake.
Emile is a chemist.
Oh, good. Because I've got a splitting headache.
An experimental chemist. I think this could be rather painful.
Open your eyes. Look at me. The cipher to the message. What is it?
Numbers code. Refers to pages, book.
Page numbers. What book?
Voltaire, volume 3.
Where is the book?
My office, Whitehall.
I have the papers in the post. Also, the new Strand magazine.
Which of our cases have you so luridly chronicled this time, my dear Watson?
The adventure of the engineer's thumb.
Huh? Oh. Yes, yes, indeed. May I? Appropriately accompanied with inaccurate and melodramatic illustrations, I see.
You know perfectly well I didn't vary a jot from the facts.
The facts, as you see them, my dear fellow.
Morphine or cocaine?
Do I detect a note of disapproval, Watson?
It's just that I've only seen you turn to it to alleviate boredom or inactivity. Never when you were on a case. But perhaps the nature of this case is such you feel your mind needs a 7% solution to clarify it. I much prefer the days of the 3-pipe solution.
Because this business concerns my rival Moriarty and the safety of my brother, I am unable to function with my usual perception. Is that what you think?
No, my dear Holmes, I do not think that. Do you?
My dear Watson, you are right, of course. I cannot risk the loss of my deductive powers with artificial stimulation, especially since without information they are practically wrecked already. Clues, Watson. I need clues. Without the relevant information, my brain is like a racing engine, racking itself to pieces.
Yes, if only we could get some lead from Stubb. Some trail to follow that wasn't a dead end.
Stubb! That's it!
What?
Of course, of course! Why didn't I think of it before? Sometimes, you know, Watson, I'm almost as stupid as Lestrade. But you, my dear Watson, you are more clarifying than any drug. Some people, without possessing genius themselves, have the remarkable power of stimulating it in others. You are such a person, Watson. You are such a person.
Thank you. I think.
Watson, come on, man, come on!
Yes, it's an excellent idea, Holmes. I like it.
Actually, it was Watson's idea.
My dear fellow.
That's all right. I still like it. Congratulations, Doctor.
You don't seem to be very enthusiastic, Booth.
If we let Jeremy Stubb escape, how can you be sure he'll lead us to Moriarty?
Moriarty is the only one who can supply money and sanctuary.
How would you arrange it? Forgive me, Holmes, but your methods are known for their irregularity.
My methods may be irregular on occasion. However, it is their effectiveness that is important, would you not say?
You must admit, gentlemen, your own efforts to trace Moriarty have been abysmal.
Yes. I'm surprised he hasn't called in at Scotland Yard for a word of encouragement, as he did with me.
It would be the last word he had in his life, I can assure you.
Would it really? Good God, man, Moriarty is walking about the street at will. You still can't find him.
Stubb mustn't suspect a trap.
We'll arrange to transfer him.
Whoa! 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 What's up, lad?
It's me mate, sir. Coach ran him over, it did, sir.
Right, let's have a look then, shall we? Right. Is he looking on?
Yes, sir.
And any time you're ready, lads. Oh.
Professor sent us.
You're a good boy.
Says you're worried, sir.
Oh, Stubbsy won't forget you, that he won't.
There you go.
Right, let's get off home. Let's get off home.
Right, Mr. Holmes.
Come, gentlemen.
It's done. Come on, hurry.
Strangled.
Hey, you! Stop! Going up after him, Watson.
Come on, Lestrade.
See you on the roof.
Deal with this.
Yes, sir.
Sorry things went badly tonight, Holmes. But even if we'd taken the Indian alive, it's doubtful he would have talked.
Possibly. Whatever we do, it seems that Moriarty knows about it. We've also seen that he's even prepared to sacrifice his own men. I think, in order to safeguard Mycroft's code book, I should pass it on straight away to the proper authorities.
The code book? You mean you've had it all along?
I've known of its whereabouts, yes.
Why didn't you tell me or the Colonel?
I am telling you and the Colonel.
Good Lord, Holmes. That was an awful responsibility to take.
Where is the book?
It's in Mycroft's office. Voltaire, Volume 3.
How can that be a code book?
How indeed, Lestrade, how indeed. Good night, Inspector. Good night, Bull.
Good night.
Night, Holmes.
Come along, Inspector. I'll drop you off at the yard.
Walk on.
Holmes,
Yes, Watson?
one thing bothers me.
Only one?
How did Moriarty get wind of our stub scheme?
Ah, yes. Well, now, here's another one to bother you.
How could Colonel Booth, who apparently only has one good eye, shoot the Indian straight through the heart at a distance of approximately 50 yards in bad light with only one shot? And yet, some nights before, at the time of the stolen document, miss Stubb with a number of shots at half the range.
I hadn't thought of that.
Curious discrepancy in marksmanship, is it not? I want you to take that cab.
What for?
Collect Wiggins, follow Booth. Don't worry, I won't be far away.
As usual, Holmes was several steps ahead of me. Booth went straight to Mycroft's office after dropping off Lestrade. But whilst he was inside, we saw a mysterious figure approach his cab.
Follow on.
Stop.
What's wrong, cabby?
Loose wheel, sir. One minute.
Where to, sir?
The south side of Southwark Bridge.
Right, you, Osmond.
Move on.
You sure this is the place you want, sir? It's a dangerous place around here, you know, for a gentleman.
Yes, that's all right, thank you.
Right you are, sir. Thank you.
Wait here.
Walk on.
Quickly, Wiggins, back to the cab. Fetch Holmes and Lestrade and bring them here.
Right.
Hello, Governor. I thought you might need this. I thought of joining you earlier, and then I thought, no. A little reconnaissance would be wiser.
I send Wiggins out to you and Lestrade. What is this place?
That church is on the site of the old Southwark Friary. Directly underneath the church, there is a tunnel system where I found a certain amount of blue clay.
But that place has been derelict for years.
Look. Come on.
pointed shoe again.
And they say dead men don't talk. I believe this is where I was tied up.
Well, they took you out. You have any idea which way they took you?
That way, I think.
Watson, we'll go this way.
$60, 14.
M.
269, 17.
S.
267, 2.
S.
Colonel Booth here saved us valuable time by providing the relevant copy of Voltaire. No doubt, this will be an explosive little document, hmm?
You have done our country a great service, Professor.
Believe me, it was a personal pleasure.
Hand out! All passages covered!
Well?
This doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Bring me that damned Mycroft.
It seems, Professor, that I have wasted my journey.
I can assure you, Herr Oberstein, this will only take but a moment.
It is not just a question of money. If you cannot decode this message, then I will have to inform Berlin immediately.
Don't threaten me, Oberstein. I'm perfectly aware of the situation.
You don't have to threaten me. I'm coming.
Prepare to leave. Now, listen to me, Mycroft Holmes. You have made me extremely impatient. I am going to count to 5. And if you don't give me the correct key to the code, then we are going to throttle you. Do you understand? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Go to hell.
5.
Is it the code you're looking for, Moriarty? If anyone moves, please shoot them, will you?
With the greatest of pleasure, Holmes.
What delightful rooms you have here, Moriarty. And how very good of Colonel Booth to lead us to them. Ah, minus his bogus eye patch, I see.
Yes, as bogus as his phony patriotism.
I knew if I told him about the code book, he would bring it straight to you. Of course, the one you have is a decoy, which I had substituted. The real one is still in my chambers. I must say you do keep excellent company, Moriarty. Herr Oberstein, master of European espionage. And I do believe Miss Sophie DeVere, one-time favorite ingenue at Drury Lane. Until, of course, the great scandal with a certain married prince, which ended her rising career. Moriarty, release my brother.
One can tell the measure of the man by the company that he keeps.
Yes, indeed. Villains all. Eh, Booth?
Yes. You of all people. How could you?
How could I? Watch 40 years of degeneracy shrink the empire to a pale shadow. I've seen brave men, friends, die in every corner of the globe on the whim of some fool from an office in Whitehall. Men like me have stood by for too long. This country needs new leaders.
I think we've had enough of your half-baked ideology, Booth. It really is quite simple. You are a traitor to your country and the murderer of Richard Farrington.
The old order changeth, Holmes. This game is not over yet. Would you be so kind?
I think for you the game is over. I would point out that Watson is an extremely good shot and still has his revolver pointed in the general proximity of your heart.
If he has one.
Now, that depends, Dr. Watson, if you're speaking scientifically as a physician or romantically as a writer.
Ah, you have a literary devotee, Watson.
Oh, I enjoy a cheap penny dreadful every now and again.
The critic, too.
He forgets the author has a gun.
The critic, too.
An ignominious end, surely, Moriarty. Shot for giving a bad review. Don't move. Take care of my brother.
Wait for me at the top.
Holmes! Holmes! Sherlock, where are you? Holmes.
I am the resurrection and the life, saith the Lord. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Amen. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to lie in pastures green. He leadeth me the quiet.
You said you'd see me in my grave. It's good to see that you are a man of your word. But then, of course, I anticipated no less.
Well, did you anticipate this, Mr. Holmes? Nobody move, unless you want to put a real body in this coffin. It seems we both mistook this funeral for a masquerade ball. But since you've so obviously bound us together, perhaps you'll be kind enough to accompany me on a short carriage ride. I could shoot you now, Holmes. I may just need you if your friends were to catch up. After you. By any chance have a key?
Of course.
Oh. Why don't you pick it up, Holmes? And be careful. Because my gun is right next to your head.
For God's sake, hurry!
Holmes, old man.
The police dragged the lake for some days. Didn't, however, recover the bodies. The coach, but not the bodies.
That lake is fathoms deep. The current probably washed them away.
Let us hope so, my dear friend.
Holmes, how did you know the code book was the Voltaire?
Well, my brother Mycroft hated French at school, so I knew perfectly well that he would never read 6 volumes of Voltaire. Not for fun, anyway.
Who is this fellow you're supposed to be?
Mycroft simply said that somebody from the government wanted to offer their congratulations. It's probably some visiting parliamentary nabob seeking re-election. Shall we go, Watson?
News is arriving daily. 15 Serbian royal guards arrested. German spy ring broken in Paris. Yeah. I know you hate these things, Sherlock, but you are quite the hero.
Oh, please, Mycroft, please.
Well, do try to be civil. It took some doing to arrange this reception here. The members weren't too keen on it. After all, it's the first time a woman's been allowed in the place.
A woman?
Even Holmes was taken aback. Who could have guessed that Her Majesty was his biggest fan?